Dylan and I have been living in our van for 3 years, and he has only left me alone one time. But he had to leave me alone once again to fly out to Chicago for work. But this time, he didn't technically leave me alone because he left me with his parents and his sister. Check it out as I take my in laws all around Washington and Oregon in two vans. Hey, if I look frazzled, it's because I am. Dylan has left. He is off on a 2-day work trip, and I'm here with my in-laws and my sister-in-law as well. They have a van, we have a van, so it means I'm in charge for the next 2 days doing everything van life, putting up Starlink, anything, planning, finding places to sleep that are safe, and we're in Portland and Seattle, so we're in the city. I feel a little bit stressed, but excited because we have fun plans. But all of this without Dylan, it's just not the same. It's gonna be an interesting couple of days. So I'm gonna take you along with me, show you what we're doing, and try to figure out this whole van life on my own with my in-laws situation. To be clear, I'm so close with my in-laws and I'm super excited to have them here, but navigating van life and figuring out van life for two vans, gonna be interesting. First things first, this van is a mess because Dylan had to pack. We had to leave at 5 a.m. this morning and he kind of threw stuff everywhere. And I'm not gonna lie, Dylan's the one who organizes our van. So I'm gonna try and figure out where things go and get this done. After organizing, I felt a little bit better about the state of the van, so it was time to get prepared for the few days with my in-laws. My mother-in-law and we ended up walking to a grocery store just a couple blocks away to stock up on food for the next few days, and then we went to go pick up my sister-in-law and get started on our adventure.
Hi! She driving. She driving.
It took us a little bit to figure out what we wanted to do together while we went exploring because we had to drive from Oregon up to Seattle. So we decided that we were going to go to Mount St. Helens for the day, explore around, see what we could get up to, and then end up in Mount Rainier for the night so that we could spend the next morning exploring Mount Rainier and having ourselves a day in the sun. Honestly, seeing Mount St. Helens in person was really cool because I had always heard about the Mount St. Helens eruption, but I didn't know much about it. Once you get to the visitor center, you can learn all about it. It's a fantastic place to visit with family because you can easily stop at the lookouts and take pictures. There are plenty of hikes along the way, but we ended up deciding just to go there, get to the visitor center, have a nice picnic lunch, and then head back up to Mount Rainier. We made it to camp and it is absolutely beautiful and it is worth me feeling stressed today. Without Dylan, number one, and making sure that my in-laws are happy. They're easy and they're easily happy, but I still get stressed and feel like I'm hosting when people come visit me in the van. So usually I have a whole plan, I know where we're going, but we kind of winged it because Dylan's sister is also here in Portland and we didn't know what exactly would be happening, and Dylan's out of town anyway, so a lot of planning has been on the fly, which I don't mind, but then it stresses me out making decisions for everyone. And I'm also so grateful for Dylan because I don't know how you solo van people doing it, making decisions all day, driving all day, doing every single chore around the van. That's pretty tiring, so more power to you if you're solo. I am happy to not be. And luckily, my sister-in-law was sitting next to me helping me with some things as we went, but I'm doing most of the planning and all of the driving. So overall, it ended up okay. We had a good day, a great day. It's beautiful out. and we found a hip camp because there weren't a lot of good free campsites, and I don't want to take my in-laws to something off the side of the road when it's just the two of us. And like, if it was just Dylan and I'd park anywhere, but it's not. So instead we have this beautiful property at a hip camp. Highly recommend if you're going to Mount Rainier, which you can see right there, to book something like this. Also, Dylan's parents are so grateful for like my help, even though I'm not doing that much. They keep being like, you don't need to cook, you don't need to make decisions, things like that, which are so sweet, and I really appreciate it. But I'm feeling much better. I just have like a backlog of work because we've had such a busy time. I just haven't had a moment to really breathe lately, and yeah, I feel much better now. This place is perfect. This hip camp ended up being one of my favorite nights with my in-laws. It was the perfect location to stay because we had views of the mountains and it was a quiet farm with no one else staying around us. After a chaotic June and dropping Dylan off at the airport, I had felt a lot of stress and anxiety, but just being able to slow down at this farm was really what the doctor ordered. It was a perfect night where we got to cook on a picnic table overlooking the beautiful views and just soaking in the atmosphere around us. Dylan and I are both so fortunate that we really are close with each other's families, so it doesn't feel weird being alone with each other. It just feels like we're with our family members. It's so nice to get quality time with our family while we live all the way across the country in our van. Alright, we're going to bed. My sister-in-law is having slumber party with me, so thankfully Dylan didn't leave me completely alone because I hate sleeping alone.
Sleepover time.
Bye, see you tomorrow. It's day 2 without Dylan. I don't think people who don't live in a van realize how much time we spend together. We pretty much spend 24/7, and so we kind of get into these routines of I do some things, he does some things. We're pretty like, we've got this like symbiotic relationship where we get things done in the van. But anyways, we're still having a great time. I got good sleep. I'm excited to take my in-laws around. We're going to go to Mount Rainier today. And I think I have to empty the pee today, which is usually Dylan's job. So, gonna keep on keeping on.
Driving mode activated. Serious.
This is serious business.
This is very serious business. This driving activity that we're doing, super serious.
The 4 of us have been to Mount Rainier National Park before, and because we were going in early July, it meant that there was still a ton of snow on the mountain. So that means that most of the hiking trails and things to do at the mountaintop are closed. We decided that we would just spend the morning going to some of the most beautiful sights, enjoying each other's company, and then we would continue on to do something we've been wanting to do the whole trip. That being said, we really lucked out with a bluebird day at Mount Rainier. There were completely clear skies and gorgeous views, which if you've been to the Pacific Northwest, you know that that's not that common. The Pacific Northwest in the summertime is just one of my favorite places to be. We ended up getting fresh cherries and enjoying some great burgers and shakes at a local small spot on the drive.
We're going to the lake.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a gorgeous day.
We've had a lovely time. And we went to Mount Rainier. Now we're at a lake.
And burgers and fries and shakes,
We're
darling.
gonna go paddleboarding
And read books.
and enjoy the sun. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All I had wanted to do for a while was go paddleboarding on a lake with a mountain view. So my in-laws all indulged me and we went to Alder Lake, which is right outside of Mount Rainier National Park. We only had a couple of hours to paddleboard, swim, and enjoy the sunshine because we had to get my sister-in-law back up to Seattle for work. But it was just enough time to soak this beautiful place all in.
On like paddleboard.
We're out here
Alder Lake.
at Alder Lake,
Hello.
paddling. I'm the driver of the paddleboard.
Yes, I am the passenger of the paddleboard.
Wow. Mount Rainier. Perfect day.
Perfect day.
Out on the water. We are back in Seattle. I am in my sister-in-law's hotel. She's in a National Broadway tour, so they pay for their hotels and we are taking advantage by showering here. And tonight she has work, so it's just my in-laws and me, and we're in Seattle. So I'm a little stressed because I don't really know where to go park. I don't mind stealth camping, which means like parking on the street quietly so no one notices you when it's just Dylan and me, but 2 vans in Seattle, I don't know. Anyways, we've been having so much fun, but I'm still just like a little low-key stressed just to be in charge of everything. But Dylan comes back tomorrow night, so I guess we might be in Seattle again because I have to pick him up here. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do the next day, but I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, we're in Seattle, and I found a place to park on the streets in a neighborhood with his parents. I'm a little stressed because stealth parking. This area seems quiet. People see this. Say on the app we use, iOverlander, that they sleep here all the time, but I always get nervous. And Dylan's not here, and now my sister-in-law is not here, so I will technically be sleeping in the van alone, but their van is right in front of me. So we'll see how the night goes, and hopefully no one cares that we're parked here because we are just like in front of houses and a park. And so we're just gonna stay for the night and then leave. Also, it's still light out, which I usually hate to park in a stealth camp place when it's light, but sunset is at like 9 and doesn't fully set to like 10. So this is just what's gonna happen, and it's a little bit messy in here. I want to clean before Dylan gets here, maybe do some work, because his parents are like, go have quiet time, we're fine, and they have assured me all is well. So gonna call it a night, I guess. Clean, do some work, and see how the night goes. Let you know if we get the knock. Well, this is van life for you. While I was cleaning, I found a caterpillar on our pillow. Gonna have to get that boy out of here. Okay, when I stealth camp, we don't put up Starlink because we don't want to be obviously camping. I'm gonna turn the lights down low and I'm gonna do some work and then call it a night. And we'll see how it goes. All right, y'all, woke up, no problem this morning. No one came to kick us out or anything. So another successful night with my in-laws, stealth camping. Going to go do some explorations today, and then tonight we get to pick up Dylan from the airport. Here's the thing, my pee jug is full, so I need to empty that before we go on our adventure. We're at a park and there's a porta potty, which I love to dump our pee in because it's just an easy place to do it. So I'm gonna drive to the porta potty, dump my pee without Dylan. It's super heavy, but it's okay. I've done it before. And get moving. Part of the best part of caravanning with my in-laws is showing them the everyday van life things that we do. One of those things that we have to do is dump our pee. So we both took turns dumping our toilets into the porta potty, which is one of my favorite ways to do it. We helped each other, we gave each other wipes, and we made sure that the experience was somewhat painless. Then they nicely offered to let me leave my van behind while they drove us to the ferry to go on a day adventure to Whidby Island, which is an adorable spot that's just about an hour from Seattle. The ferry itself runs pretty frequently, so it's super easy to navigate, and then once you get there, there are plenty of cute shops, restaurants, and cool things to explore in the various towns that sit on Whidby Island. Just got back from spending a day with Dylan's parents. We went to Whidby Island. We took the ferry. We only took one van so that we only had to pay for one van to explore. And we're going to go to a nice dinner tonight because one of my sister-in-law's and brother-in-law's friends is a chef at this restaurant. And then Dylan lands and I will be picking him up and it will be the two of us again. Overall, it's been a great 3 days since he left. Just have felt a little more stress without him here, but I'm excited to have him back because I've realized how nice it is to be two people in a van and not just one, and I love it. Honestly, it was great to get some time to bond with my in-laws and hang out with them without Dylan, but that being said, I'm so glad to have him back for our next adventures, so make sure to like and follow along for all of the things that we get up to.